I do record them, but I don't always.
Berries and cream.
Is that gonna be stuck in your head now?
That's definitely that could be the B-roll.
Can it?
I'm a little lad who likes berries and cream.
Then you would love Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream, 0 sugar. All of the tastes of Dr. Pepper with 0 calories.
But it tastes like strawberries and cream.
Is this based off a real commercial?
No, it's just based off of general commercials from like the 1950s.
Okay, let's do this thing.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello, it is April 5th, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there is always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about murder, survival, Beethoven, naval felines, and so much more. But first, I am your host, Tim Lichty, and sitting next to me is my best friend in the whole entire world, Christopher Thomas Ford. And joining us from the far, far land of Kansas is the greatest Gen Zer to ever Z. That is Harley. Hello, everyone. Guys, if you are watching us, we are recording at night because I have a job now, a full-time job now. And
schedules change.
Schedules have changed.
Day becomes night.
And we I don't know how this happened, but we did not plan ahead. And we are recording merely like a day or two before the release. And so tonight's going to be fun because I am definitely drinking and definitely trying to survive doing all this at night when I have work the next morning. So,
you know, I might actually take you up on some of that.
Okay, well.
If I decide, I'll just get up mid-podcast and go get some. Pour it into my Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, that could be kind of fun.
Oh, very nice.
We'll see how it goes.
Well,
do you have a shot glass that I could use to measure it? Because I can't eyeball.
Yes, actually.
I can't eyeball liquor for nothing.
He's like that video that's like 2 shots vodka. Glug, 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 glug.
Yeah, no, that's legit me. Like my glasses, I know where the shot lines are on my glasses. So like if I'm pouring it into a glass that I own, I know roughly where it should be. But in a can, who's to say? Feel like what's her name? From the French cooking lady, Julia.
Okay, I always get confused because the movie confused me.
Julie and Julia, yeah.
Right, so which one is which, though? I always forget.
I think Julia is the French one.
It's right up there.
What is her name, though? Like her last name?
I don't... Is it? It's not Child, is it?
It is. Julia Child, yeah.
Julia Child?
Yeah,
Are
Julia
you sure?
Child, yeah.
Okay.
Who's to see?
Harley, do you know any of this?
I have no idea what you're talking
All
about.
right, first of all, it's one of Janelle's favorite movies, so you need to watch it.
It is a good movie.
What movie is it?
Julie and Julia.
Oh. Well, that was pretty easy, I suppose.
It's got Meryl Streep.
It's about a woman named Julie and a separate woman named Julia. They live in 2 separate eras, but they are connected through cooking.
Yes.
Oh.
It's pretty sweet, actually.
It feels misogynistic, though.
You would think so.
No, it's
but
actually
it's actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very empowering. And it's got Meryl Streep. It's got Amy Adams and what's his name? What's his name? I always forget his name. You know what I'm talking about? The bald man.
You know, he is one of my favorite actors,
Right.
and I also always forget his name.
Right. It starts with a G, I think. Anyways.
Bald man.
Bald man. He's a good guy.
He's the guy from Easy A. What is his name, Harley?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I haven't watched that movie in years.
He's the
I
guy
watched it
from
way
The
too
Hunger
young of an
Games.
age.
Caesar Flickerman. Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci. Where did the G come from?
The G threw me off. You said G, and I was like, that's not it.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Honestly, I'm a little bit attracted to Stanley Tucci.
He's a good-looking man.
If you're not, you're wrong.
He's on the same scale as Pedro Pascal. Like some people think he's attractive, but you gotta like not some people think he's attractive.
Everyone thinks he's attractive.
Yes, but a lot of people think he's really attractive. But like everyone, you have to admit that he's attractive.
Harley, I'm sorry, but I hear hesitancy in your voice when talking about Pedro. Are you saying that he is on the lower end of the spectrum for you in attractiveness?
No, I think if anything, he's actually grown on me.
The more you
I
learn
used
about
to-
him, the hotter he gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why is it so hot? That's the hottest man I've ever seen.
It was his birthday the day, actually. Happy birthday, Pedro, if you're listening.
Please listen.
Happy birthday, Pedro.
Please be on our podcast.
Please. All right, guys, we're moving this show along. This actually might ironically be one of our shorter episodes. We'll figure it
He
out.
says that, and then
We're
2
gonna,
hours later.
I know.
You don't know how to shut the hell up.
First segment of the day, it is Rec and Rev. This is the part of the show where we'd like to recommend and review some things for your pleasure. Speaking of Pedro, my recommend of the week is The Mandalorian Season 3.
Would you believe I'm actually caught up on this show?
Are you really?
I am.
Wow.
Yeah. So pumped.
Dude.
It's getting exciting.
It's getting exciting. Okay. So I'm not going to do any spoilers here, but let me just tell you guys. Wait, Harley, have you been
She
watching
looks so
Mandalorian?
lost.
Yeah, you look lost.
I have not, because my sister's Disney Plus is
Harley.
she forgot to renew her subscription.
Harley.
You have
And so I'm really
access to 2 separate Disney Pluses. Just ask us.
And a server.
Ask us. We will provide.
Okay, well
You
then
are our
someone send it to
tiny
me.
little baby.
It's a part of the
We
job.
will feed you.
These are 2 different parents right now.
The Mandalorian Season 3. It's doing the same thing the other 2 seasons have done, and it's like a slow build, and it's infuriating, but also at the end, it's always worth it, if that makes sense. Like, it always kind of drives me insane. Like, what is the point of this season? Because it's like, you think the point of the season gets done in like the first 2 episodes. You're like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing something else. But that's the joy of it. And then I would also recommend Star Wars Rebels.
They're tied together at this point.
They are becoming tied together. So if you are a casual Star Wars fan, but you're really into The Mandalorian, I would recommend you go watch Star Wars Rebels. Look, it's an animated show. You can put it on in the background if you really want to. But just having some of that knowledge, I think, is going to really enrich Season 3 for you. So that is my recommendation.
Get
Mandalorian
to see some
Season
of those
3.
characters in Season 3. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Chris, what you got for us?
So mine is a survival show called Outlast. And I hesitate to put this on here because my dad is really into Survivor. Like season 1 up until whatever god-awful season we're
It's like
in now.
40th season, yeah.
He has watched every single episode and he loves it. So I feel like I'm turning into my dad. But this is a survival show where they take 16 people and they just like toss them into Alaska.
Of course, Alaska.
And once they get there, they're split up into teams, but they have to figure out their own teams just right off the bat. Teams of 4. So they're split up into 4 teams of 4, and they have to outlast the other teams.
Oh.
You're given a couple of supplies and like a flare gun. And if you can't hack it, you shoot off your flare gun. After a while, the teams start to dwindle down. People get eliminated. There's no challenges, nothing like that. You're just literally surviving out there.
Wow.
That's it.
God.
And then, like, you can switch teams if you need to. If you feel like, hey, this team sucks, I'm going to go join another team. You can do that. And it's literally just people trying to survive and outlast each other. People get sick and they have to call out. People just get fed up with the way other people are playing. And they're like, look, I don't want to be part of this if it's going to be this way. And they pull the flare gun. But eventually it dwindles down to whatever number of people they have left. And then they're like, all right, final challenge. You got to go from this point to this point. And once you get to this point, that's the prize. And they literally just leave a backpack of money out there for them to find. So that's it. That's the whole show.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty great. And actually, one of Janelle's high school friends was on there.
Oh, fun.
I met her, I think, after she did the show, but before it aired. So I didn't know she was on the show, but I met her doing my Vivint job. And she was like, hey, you're Janelle's husband. And I was like, who wants to know? Because that's always a really sketchy thing. Like, I maybe. Are you going to fight me? Like, I don't know what's going on. But she was pretty cool, and she did really well on the show. I like the show. I will not spoil it for you.
Oh, okay.
But it's on Netflix. Outlast. Watch it. Super good.
That's crazy.
Cool. Speaking of 44 seasons of Survivor.
Jesus, Dad.
I know. Harley, what do you have for us?
Crazy. Okay, so my show is Only Murders in the Building, which is on Hulu. And it's got Steve Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
It's on my
And
list of shows to watch.
It is
It's
this
just
close to
so
being on
good.
my list. Like, I don't know why, but
Put it on your list.
I just can't put it there because there's so many other shows on there. But I'm interested, but I'm not interested. And I feel like if I get into it, I'll get into it.
Yeah,
Tell us
that's
about it,
exactly
Harley.
what it is.
Yeah.
Because I was like, nah, I don't really care. But then the Selena Gomez, Haley Baldwin stuff, or Haley Bieber, whatever her name is, started
told me
happening.
that's what got you into
and I was
it?
like, shit,
Look,
I gotta watch
hey,
it now.
I don't even care if this starts political discourse. We are Team Selena in this house.
Yes.
This podcast
Yes.
will always be Team Selena.
Guys, I've only seen remnants of this
And
feud.
you are Team Selena. I don't care how much you know. Selena Gomez is queen.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Harley, what is it about?
Well,
It's
so first
actually-
off,
Not the
Haley
feud, the
Bieber.
show. The show.
What happened was
let me tell you.
it all started in like 2011.
All
Okay.
right, bet. So here we go.
So the show is about the three of them. They all live in the same apartment building in New York City called the Arconia, and it's like some fancy apartment building for the rich, of course. Need I say more? And then they are all into a podcast.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So this could be our listeners' real lives.
Yes. And so that's how they meet, is because they're all listening to the same podcast and they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then a murder happens, obviously. And so then they're like, let's start our own podcast about murders in the building. So yeah,
that's it?
it's pretty good.
So
And
wait,
they're
wait,
like
wait,
trying,
but
it's like an ongoing
Are they-
true crime podcast
Are
of
they
them trying to solve the
okay,
murder.
they are solving. Okay.
well, here's my question though. Like, was there multiple murders before they started the podcast?
Or was it one murder and then a bunch of them afterwards?
I haven't gotten that far. I'm not going to spoil it, but I guess I could say that there were murders in the past.
Oh, okay. I was curious about
But-
the word murder, like plural. Like,
Literally nothing else happens but murders. It's in the title. Only murders.
you need to
Right.
leave, go somewhere else.
It's like
Nobody
the
sleeps,
reason
nobody shops, nobody plays video games. It's only murders happening.
Go.
it's just American Horror Story.
You walk in, murder.
It's- but basically, why it's called that is because they wanted to make it like a murder podcast of like, all kinds of murders. And then one of them says, no, only murders in the building.
Okay.
And that's why it's called that. So,
Okay. Got it.
So they say it in the show. They say the
Yeah,
title.
That's the name of the podcast.
I love that.
right.
Okay. All right. I'm down.
Yeah. It's very good. And there's just twists that you don't expect. And then you're kind of just like, whoa, what the frick? Who is what? And what is this? And yeah,
Look, as long as Selena Gomez doesn't get murdered, I'm cool.
I haven't gotten that far yet. So I don't know. I hope she
I'm gonna
doesn't
tell
get
you guys-
murdered as well.
I'm gonna tell you guys something really weird. So, and it's okay. So
Is it
I don't know.
relevant, Chris?
it is relevant. It is relevant. I don't know how to start this, so I'm just gonna jump in. When my parents were getting divorced, I had a dream that is like a continuing dream that I was born into another family, and I had different siblings and different parents. One of my siblings was Zendaya, but not actually Zendaya. She just looked like Zendaya, and she was a lesbian, and she was dating Selena Gomez.
Oh.
The actual
Oh.
Selena Gomez, though, not like some random Selena Gomez lookalike. It wasn't like a weird sexual thing. It was just like, that's my sister. She's dating Selena Gomez. Cool.
Isn't it funny
She was
how
at
you're-
all of the family parties and stuff. Like, that was it.
Isn't it funny how your brain can like distinguish like if it's like an actual celebrity or if it's just a celebrity lookalike when you're dreaming?
The weird thing is, though, is like one of them was the actual celebrity and the other one was just my sister.
Right.
That happened to me last night, actually. I had this random dream, and it was obviously, okay, it was Roy Kent. It was not the actor. It was
Fuck yeah,
Roy
Princess
Kent.
Diaries.
From
Goldstein?
No.
Roy
Not the
Kent.
actor,
It was
but the
Roy
whole
Kent.
character
Oh,
of
okay.
Roy
The
Kent.
character of Roy Kent.
yeah, was in my dream. And I was like, what are you doing here? Like, what is, but it was like him.
Yeah.
It was obviously him, but it was freaking weird.
Fuck you.
The scene. I'm actually going to start watching Ted Lasso. And here's the reason.
way.
I saw a TikTok where they were like, Ted was sitting at the desk and he was like, "Hey, everybody, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Who's your favorite Julia?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
What? God, I can't remember her name either.
Julia Roberts.
No, not Julia Roberts.
Andrews. Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. Thank you. Yes. It was like, who's your favorite Julie Andrews character? And he immediately was like, fucking Maria. And then they went around the room like everybody had an answer.
Yeah.
And he was one of the guys. He has long gray hair. I don't know what his name is, but he was like
Trent Krim.
Trent Krim, yeah.
Trent Krim, I guess so. He was like Queen whatever Rinaldi of Genovia. And Roy Kent goes, "Fuck yeah, Princess Diaries." That's the clip that got it. That's the one that's going to get me to watch it.
So good. Deserved.
I don't think I remember that. I think that's like in the latest episode. I didn't watch that one yet, so.
I don't know, but I'm going to watch it.
It's literally in the most recent episode.
Yeah.
So you just spoiled it for yourself, but you have 2 seasons to watch.
I don't think that was a very prominent scene in the show. Like,
It probably wasn't.
probably
It was.
that was like the most important scene?
It was not the most important, but it was one of the like those scenes. Tim knows what I'm talking about. If you watch Ted Lasso, like it was one of the scenes where you're like, yeah, that's good.
Well, damn, thanks a lot, man.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. It was literally just that, though. There was like no other context to it.
Yeah, it's so good. But that's exciting news.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, before we move on, I want to say there's a show I want to watch, and I sent a TikTok to Chris this morning. It's called Extraordinary. And it's literally like
I just started that the other day. I got like 5 minutes in before I had to go do something else, but I put that on my Hulu list too.
It's literally like the question that we did a few weeks back of what if you had a superpower that was absolutely pointless and someone made it into a show, and I need to watch it.
There are people that can like fly and they use their powers to be like a personal Uber.
Yeah.
There are people that can like they can tell when somebody's lying, or they can make them tell the truth if they ask them a question, and they're like interviewers for corporations and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Like everybody's got a power though.
Okay, so I'm going to spoil this one. So if you don't want to be spoiled by this show, whatever. But it's like I saw a TikTok and I sent it to Chris. And viewer, listener warning, if you have any young children, this is like skip 5 minutes. So this girl, part of the show is this girl doesn't have any superpowers. She's like what's her name in Encanto?
I feel like I saw this TikTok.
You might have. She's like what's her name in
Mirabelle.
Yeah, Mirabelle. And like she hasn't got her powers yet. And she's on this blind date with some guy, and she goes to shake his hand, and he has to wear these gloves. Like, excuse me, I have to wear my gloves. And it comes to find out that he has the power to make anyone orgasm immediately on touch. Like skin touches skin just automatically.
I would have so much fun with that.
So she said something along the lines like, "Wow, you must have, like, the way you described that must have been a really fun story." And goes, "No, it wasn't. It was my father's 60th birthday." And he told me for the first time he was really proud of me, and he wanted to give me a handshake. And he just fell and collapsed on the floor, and they couldn't tell what it was until they pulled out his shirt. And just every time he was trying to give him, because he thought he had a heart attack, so every time he'd give him a heart compression.
That's so bad.
Yeah, so.
Oh my God. I'm excited to watch this show.
I know. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I was really excited about it, so I'm gonna share that with everyone.
That was a really long Rack and Rev. I feel like we've recommended a lot of things.
We did, and a show we didn't even watch yet. So there you go. All right, guys. Well, hey, we got a fun main segment around the corner. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Just not true.
Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod.
If you'd like to ask us a question for us to answer on the pod, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on our Always More hotline and leave a voicemail question at 254-218-4042.
You can also follow all of our social medias individually and as the Always More podcast. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to it.
All right, everyone. Here we go. Today, we have a fun main segment for y'all today. This is going back to our rotation. We technically skipped a news segment, but we're doing another history one today.
Woo!
Yes. Okay, so if you didn't hear the first history one that we did, don't worry. This is not like in a connection in any way. But also, maybe you didn't hear it and want to assume that this is going to be like some boring like history lesson about George Washington. No. Screw that white colonizer. We have a fun story today about... Well, you're going to find out.
Look at Tim, the ally. My man.
Ally.
Today, this will probably be a short one, especially compared to our friend Imo that we learned about last time. Imo, man, that guy,
that was an intense story.
He had a life. I'll tell you what.
A life or just a lot of math?
Yeah. I need Christopher Nolan to make a film about him. That's what I need.
I want to see this new one he's got coming out.
Oh, Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
Oh,
the thing that kills me is like Christopher Nolan is all about realism, so he actually used bombs. Like it's not CGI. And I don't know if they were nuclear bombs.
Can't be.
Or if they were just like a massive amount of megatons worth of like TNT or whatever.
Right. He probably made it like it's a miniature version, like a miniature bomb, and just filmed it up close. That's probably what he did.
No,
he did not make a huge-ass bomb.
No, they blew something up.
I know they did, but you can have a small explosion look like a mushroom cloud. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know, man. I don't know that Christopher Nolan would do that. Michael Bay would do that. I don't know that Christopher Nolan would do that.
Okay, well, despite that, despite Christopher Nolan, today we have a fun one. Harley, Christopher, are y'all ready?
I think
Yes.
so.
The year is 1940-ish. Sam,
as it
is born, and he also goes by Oscar. More on that later. Also, Sam is a cat.
Already love it.
Gato.
We have a story about a cat today. The following year, the world, it was already at war, but the world was at war in what is known today as World War II. Mm-hmm. And while aviation was still gaining traction and becoming a force over air and land, the naval warfare was still as significant and brutal as always. Sam, as we will find out, was a lucky survivor of multiple naval battles in World War II. Harley, are you covering a laugh?
No, I'm covering a yawn.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at me or what we were saying. Like, all right.
Well, I was laughing because Chris stared at me because he's like, "Stop fucking yawning." It's late,
you have
guys.
no
I'm
proof that I said
I'm
that.
not yawning because I don't like the story. I'm yawning. First of all, I love the
Because
story
we're recording
because
at
it's
night.
about a cat.
It's about a cat.
Yeah, so I'm fucking excited. But I'm tired because it's 9 o'clock at night and we're old.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I got to go to bed like an hour. All right, so I'm going to divide up this story by the ships that our friend Sam was on. First off, Sam was German. He was raised. He was born in Germany.
Bad gato.
And yeah.
I was also born in Germany. That doesn't make you a bad person.
Couldn't help it. He's just a little kitten born
One
in Germany.
cannot help.
He was born in Germany during World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was born in Germany during World War II. He wasn't already a Nazi. Like he wasn't there during the rise of the Third Reich.
He was
Like he was born in 1927. And he was like, that Hitler's got some good ideas.
He was born in the darkness. He didn't know any better.
Although I would assume most cats would be Nazis.
What? I don't know. No, stop. I don't want to hear any more why.
No. Not because I think cats hate Jews, but because I think they hate everyone, and Nazis had the best track record for killing people.
That's horrible. Okay, we'll learn better about Sam here. Sam was not your, well, I guess technically speaking. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Bismarck. Despite their reputation for creating powerful submarines, also known as U-boats, the Germans also created many battleships. The first of two battleships of the Bismarck class constructed for Nazi Germany's Kriegsmarine was named Otto von Bismarck, or just Bismarck. The battleship, which was launched on February 14th, 1939, was 241 meters long and weighed 41,700 tons. Overall, the Bismarck was quite successful, surviving many missions and battles. However, as Bismarck engaged in combat with the Allied battleship, the Prince of Wales, which, by the way, why such long names? Like, if I want to, like, I wonder if they, like, named it short, like, if the sailors just called it Wales or something, but, like, why name a ship super long? Like, especially battleships, you want to get to the point.
It's like horses in the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like the horse, a father's love. Could you imagine training that horse? Come here, father's love. Come here, father's love. I couldn't do it.
Oh, man.
That one couch at the furniture store that I liked. Come here, that one couch at the furniture store that I liked.
Okay, so as it engaged in combat with the Prince of Wales, it suffered severe damage and lost the ability to maneuver. Long story short.
Oh, no.
Long story short, it wouldn't survive. In the end, the ship sank, and just 118 of its more than 2,200 crew members lived. So not a success in the end for the Bismarck.
It's a great success for the Allied forces.
Indeed. A few hours later, the British warship...
Great success.
Very nice.
Wait, what was that accent you said for great success? It sounded German, but...
No. It's the,
Borat.
What? Yes,
Oh,
yes,
you're doing
yes.
that. Oh, Eastern...
Where he's
okay.
like,
I
he
get
cannot
clock
afford.
radio. My neighbor cannot afford. Great success.
Oh, that
It was
movie
so
was the
good.
rage when we were in high school.
That movie is so problematic.
Is the...
Oh, yeah.
Like it you know, we could do a whole podcast episode on that movie alone, but it was bad.
It was bad.
It actually had really negative effects on real people
Mm.
in Eastern Europe. Like, it was very bad. But moving on.
Moving along. A few hours later, the British warship HMS Cossack, which was headed back to port, saw Sam floating on a board like a plank and plucked him from the ocean. Sam was saved. And Sam was the only survivor that they picked up. Unaware of what his name had been on Bismarck, the crew of the Cossack named their new mascot Oscar.
Okay.
So Oscar was derived from the International Code of Signals for the letter O, which is code for man overboard. So, you know, but cat overboard. But so, yeah. So he had two names, Sam and Oscar.
Sam Oscar. Samuel Oscar Cattington.
The third.
Sir Samuel Oscar Cattington.
You will call him
The third.
sir.
Respect his title.
It will please you both to know that Unsinkable Sam, which he shall henceforth be known as, then decided to join the Allied forces instead of the Nazis.
Good.
So there
So
we go.
he was on the side of the Nazis.
Well, yeah, he was a sailor on their ship, obviously.
I couldn't find out how he got on this ship, so I don't know if he was actually a member of the team.
The point
or
is,
just, like,
Can you imagine
the point
somebody
is,
just picked him up?
the point is, Navy ships often have cats on them to help
get
fight
mice, that's
pests
right.
and mice and rats and things like that.
probably what it was.
So he was literally, by definition, helping the Nazis, which
Yeah.
makes him a Nazi.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
If
saying.
that's how you want to look at it, then fine. But it's a cat. So let's talk.
Now he's saved, though.
Right? Yeah, he's allied.
He's been redeemed.
He's had a change of heart. He's good.
Good job, Gato.
And okay, so let's talk about the HMS Cossack. Cossack? Why is it? Okay.
Cossack.
Why do you keep doing that?
I don't know. Because it's 9 o'clock at night. For the following few months, the cat, the Unsinkable Sam, worked on board the Cossack while the ship performed convoy escort operations in the North Atlantic and Mediterranean. On October 24th, 1941, as she was escorting a convoy from Gibraltar to Great Britain, Cossack was severely damaged by a torpedo fired by the German submarine U-563.
They said they want their cat back.
Give us Sam.
Give us back Sam or die. Okay, so long story short, it was definitely like mortally injured. A towing attempt was made to get the dangerously listing Cossack back to Gibraltar after 170 men were transferred to the destroyer on HMS Legion. The task had to be abandoned due to the mission being unfeasible due to the increasing weather conditions, so just it was undoable. The ship sank to the west of Gibraltar on October 27th, 1941, a day after the tow was dropped. And Sam was discovered clinging to a piece of board. He survived the incident
Again?
and was taken to Gibraltar Shore Establishment.
He knows what to do.
Find the wood, you will survive.
It was here that British officers gave him the fitting name of Unsinkable Sam after they realized what had happened. Now, this is the part of the story that I don't understand. Like, how do they know that this was his second boat? Like, did someone just mention, like, oh, like in passing, like, oh, they saw the cat, like, hey, we saved that cat before and he's alive again?
Maybe.
Well, I'm sure that's probably...
They have
He's
records.
probably still with some of, like, the same people,
Like,
maybe.
I'm sure somebody was
Wait,
like...
they have records of this cat. Like, that's the most funny thing here. Like, they have...
yeah, I mean, you have to tell the full story in your report. Like, yeah, we got into a battle. We sank this ship.
We saved the cat.
There were people in the water. We left them to die. We found a cat. We brought this cat
And we
on board
saved
to
the
be
cat.
our Navy ship cat because our old one died or whatever. We had this cat a while. And then, like, when the people rescued them from their sinking ship, they were like, hey, we found this cat. Is this y'all's cat? And he was like, oh, yeah, that's Sam. I'm glad he survived.
That's my boy.
My boy!
Okay, well, that's a good point, Chris. You very well might be right. Okay, so he survived.
Father, help. She's just in the water. Father, help. My boy.
So
This is my boy.
despite his recovery from the HMS Cossack, his trip wasn't quite ended yet. Now nicknamed Unsinkable Sam, the cat was soon transferred to he's transferred. So you're right. It sounds like it's like official business. Like we're stationing
like,
you
a
over
uniform.
here.
Sometimes,
Right.
yeah. No, sometimes they do actually give pets in the military rank and like file and all that stuff. Yeah.
That's great. The cat was soon transferred to the aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal, which paradoxically played a key role in the sinking of the Bismarck, the first ship that he was on.
He's like, I know this shit.
I think Sam is kind of unlucky at this point.
Well, he's lucky. The people that he usually gets in
brings
cohorts
bad luck.
with
Is he a
are
black
not.
cat? Is this where the narrative came from?
Wow, Harley. Wow.
No, you know the narrative of
It's
like black
like
cats.
that?
They're like witchcraft.
Does it matter? Why can't he
Oh my
just
God.
be a cat?
Just let a cat be a
Christopher,
cat.
it is his fur. It's not his skin tone.
As a result of the several narrow escapes, the Ark Royal earned the moniker Lucky Ship, despite the Germans repeatedly and incorrectly reporting the ship sunk. On November 14th, 1941, the ship was torpedoed by U-81. These U-boats, man, they're relentless. After returning from a trip from Malta, the unrelenting intrusion of water rendered the attempts to tow Ark Royal to Gibraltar fruitless. Within 30 miles of Gibraltar, the ship flipped over and submerged. Can you imagine just being on a ship and just flips over? God, that's the worst.
I wonder
Or-
how fast it happened.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay. So, because did I say that already? Because of the ship's moderate rate of sinking, all but one of the crew, including Sam, were saved. So, not bad. Just one died. Sam and the other survivors were found by a motor launch, whatever that is, clinging to a floating plank, and had been characterized. After he was rescued, he was characterized as furious but relatively undamaged.
Could you
He's like,
imagine?
getting real tired of this shit happening to me.
So it was Sam and a bunch of other people clinging on to wood again. He's like, all right, guys, I know what to do. Follow me.
Get on the wood.
The wood will save you.
John, stop pulling George down, okay? We work together here. Get on the plank.
We can all fit. None of this Titanic bullshit.
Never let go.
Although one did die, so maybe
Oh, he
maybe
was Jack.
maybe Sam was like, I don't like you.
He pulls a scar. Like, let's go.
Remember that time you were supposed to feed me and you didn't?
Okay, so the survivors were transferred to the HMS Lightning and also the HMS Legion that had saved also the crew of the Cossack. Later, the Lightning this is like, he wasn't a part of these boats, but just later, the Lightning was sunk in 1943 and the Legion was sunk in 1942. But Sam had enough at this point. He was done with his naval heroics.
I would imagine
Did the cat
so.
tell them that?
It's been like, bro, he's been there doing all this stuff for like 1 year.
I know.
And he had like 4 ships sink underneath him. I would quit
That's what
too.
I'm saying. Like, this man's got like evil attached to him somehow.
He wasn't Nazi.
And he's just trying to vibe. He's just trying to live, do his duty, serve his country.
Sam's career as a seaman came to sea cat, sea feline.
I don't know.
Like sea
a
feline.
sea lion.
Oh, here we go. Sea lion.
Oh, sea lion.
It came to an end with the loss of the Ark Royal. He was sent back to the UK after being first transferred to the governor of Gibraltar's offices, where he spent the rest of the war living in a seaman's home in Belfast called the Home for Sailors, where he was given a job on land and spent his days going after mice.
See?
According to the legend, Unsinkable Sam lived contently until 1955, despite having seen 3 warships sunk during World War II. The National Maritime Museum, Greenwich, is home to a pastel portrait of Sam by artist Georgina Shaw Baker titled Oscar the Bismarck's Cat. And that is the story of the Unsinkable Cat.
He was a 15-year-old cat.
That man's seen some things.
At one point, they were like, you know what? You're going to have a job here on land. You cannot sink a continent.
What could have made the story better is like if it was like just invaded, like just you can't.
That office got raided. It was like set on fire, and they found him later clinging to another piece of wood.
It was like the last wood left of the house that burnt down.
This wood will always save me.
I just imagine him like being done.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. Get like a
They
little
give,
medal.
they give him a little bell medal, and he's just like, bat, bat, dingling.
No, I could see him like as they like get into port after the what is it, the HMS Ark Royal, and he's just survived all this stuff, and he's just sitting in the corner with a cigarette in his mouth with a glass of milk next to him, and he's just, I'm too old for this shit.
He's like, once you've seen the things that I've seen.
But that is.
I envy you, young kittens. War is hell.
Can you imagine later on in his life, just back in my day?
Wait, what's that? What's the quote from Fallout 4? Or I think it's Fallout in general, where it's like war never changes or something like that.
I truly don't know,
I don't
but
remember.
I did find my game. It is Fallout 4 that I own.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a great game.
So at some point, I'm
anyways.
sure I'll play it.
That is the story of Unsinkable Sam. Any thoughts, comments about our friendly Nazi turned Allied survivor?
What was the name of the project that brought Nazi scientists to America?
Paperclip.
Project Paperclip. Yep. Do we have a cat version of that?
Well, I mean, he was
Project Feather
Board.
Toy.
Project Catnip. Yeah.
There you go. Project Catnip.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, if there's nothing else, guys, that's our thing. It's a short one today, but I thought you all get a kick out of, it's cat, so it's a fun, lighthearted, not too much death. Well, I guess there was death involved, but
Just not of the cat.
not for the cat. the cat definitely brought some death around him. I'll tell you that.
Which is so crazy. Like, he was just bad luck. not for himself, but for others.
Yeah.
He might have been a witch, like a
That's
witch
what
cat.
I'm saying. If he was a black cat, he created a bad narrative for black cats and on.
Oh,
because this man was a witch.
There's a portrait of him.
There
look
is,
it up.
hold on.
Yeah, look it up.
Oh yeah,
How do we not already have
it's
this?
probably
in our
like
notes?
a tabby
Yeah, hold on.
or like an
hold on.
orange cat. I
Calico.
also imagine
He's
him
got
to be an orange cat.
energy.
Okay, so he's that orange. He is like mostly black with like white like bottom part of his face, and like his nose is black, but then like everything here to his lips and down his neck is white, and it goes down.
And
Like
he's got like a white line.
So he's
down
like a
his chest.
tuxedo cat.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he is one of them.
Oh, look, and here's the his gravestone. Simon served in the HMS.
That's not him. That's another one.
Oh, it sure is. Wait, what?
Is there
There's two cats.
Are we learning about a second one?
That may not be a cat.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
It's a bird.
Oh my God. All right. Well, if there is nothing left, guys, that is our history segment. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about what would blow people's minds back in the day. We are back, and mostly because I wanted to end the conversation that we were having, but also to bring you guys some fun segment. Guys, we don't have any fan questions, and this makes me sad because we want to answer your questions.
You make me sad.
So please, if you would like to hear us answer some of your questions, it could be literally about anything. Our history has shown that. You can leave us a voicemail and a number that I forgot to write down, which is in the show notes, or you just leave us a comment on any of our social media accounts or email us at alwaysmorepod@gmail.com. But before that, we are starting a segment that we started a few weeks ago called Neanderthal. And the point of this segment is to list out some things that would blow the mind of someone in history. And this week's person of history is Beethoven.
Was he the deaf one?
Oh,
Yes.
it's Beethoven?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you
Okay, well,
Did you get
I
it
didn't-
mixed up?
yeah.
We're talking about the musician, not the dog.
No, I didn't even read Beethoven for some reason. And then
It's right there in the notes.
to everyone for everyone to know, we have show notes, and it says Beethoven right there, and I just went completely different direction. Okay, you know what? I can do this.
Let's go.
Oh wait! Wasn't he? Someone else go first. I have to do research.
Okay, look, if you need
It shouldn't be super hard. You just
Okay.
pick an old person and like things that were invented after they were born.
No, we're
like, we
all
want to be a
doing
little
Beethoven.
specific. Yeah, you want to be a little specific. Okay, so look, Beethoven was a German composer and pianist. He remains one of the most admired composers in history of Western music. His works ranks among the most performed of the classical music repertoire and span the transition from the classical period to the Romantic era in classical music. He wrote a lot of big, huge things. He became deaf by, I believe, age 42, 44, something along those lines, and still composed even while he was deaf. That is Ludwig van Beethoven. So, things that would blow Beethoven's mind.
Cochlear implants.
I thought
Dude,
about
I was
that.
literally just thinking that.
It's like I lost my hearing. Oh darn. What? I can hear again?
You know, it's very...
I was also thinking like sign language in general.
I
would
think
be like, what?
I
We
think they
can
would have had
communicate?
that.
well, not ASL, but I'm wondering...
Not ASL, no, but sign language of some sort.
That's a good question.
I don't think so. What time period? 1700s?
Tim's got the computer. Google it.
He was born in 17... No, I take that back. He was baptized... That's random. He was baptized in 1770, so I guess that's the year of his birth, depending on if you're Catholic or not.
A year later.
And then he died in 1827, so latter
I'm going to say
18th.
there was no sign language.
1755 is when sign language. Charles Michael
Ah.
Lepay was a French priest who founded the first free public school for the deaf in 1755, was the first to compose a standard French sign alphabet. Yep.
Well, there you go. Probably wasn't very widespread.
But that was in like a specific area and like in New England, wasn't it?
French.
Yeah, French.
Oh, it was in France?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is
I know
much
there's like
closer
Martha's
to
Vineyard in the U.S., which was like a huge deaf community, which is freaking dope. But wait, where's he from?
Germany.
Vienna?
Well,
I'm going to say...
Specifically?
Yeah.
I don't... Well, was that an answer or was that a question?
Oh, that's where he died. Sorry.
Okay.
Austria. Okay, but still, it's Germany.
Yeah.
In that vicinity.
Maybe.
But
Germanic.
I'm going to say they didn't have sign language back then. They probably just wrote stuff.
Yeah. My answer is iPod. Like not even like the ones that we have now that's like 200, 500 gigs. I mean like just like the iPod Shuffle.
The first iPod.
Yeah, like just the one that could hold like 50 songs. Like that is remarkable. Like here, sir, here's this little stick.
With all of your music on it.
Yeah. Here you go. Take it wherever you want and listen to it. Just, yeah, incredible.
Beats.
Oh, yeah.
The fact
headphones in general, like the fact that like just listen to things because of this device on your head.
I was going to say the fact that a black man was able to make music, Dr. Dre himself, that would blow Ludwig van Beethoven's mind.
Wow. Synthesizers.
Yeah.
What kind of fake music is this?
Well, here's the thing though. It's like if you really think about it, it's really not that far off from like organs. Like when especially you have like all this stuff going at the same time.
That's true.
At least it kind of
Until you switch it to the sound effect mode and you press like the D minor key and it comes out like a duck. What is this? Stop that. Stop that now.
Quack, 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 quack.
9!
Could you imagine like bringing a piano with that, like some kind of sound? What would be the best sound effect to play one of his like songs on that would just alter it completely? Like you
What's
said,
that
a
one
duck,
that makes it sound like 80s pop?
that too, but like I mean, like an absurd sound that's like a duck or something, like something that's just outrageous, like a car horn.
I was going to say old school car horns.
Great.
Oh my God. Do you remember? Frick, what was it called? It was so popular on YouTube. There's like a whole game. Rainbow Cat, the Pop-Tart Cat, Nano Cat.
Oh, yeah.
Nyan Cat.
There we go.
Yeah.
That would have sent him through a loop.
Or
I think
just YouTube in
that-
general, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that is true. YouTube specifically in the late 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You would have been like, what is this?
Garage Band.
Yeah.
Be able to put out your music onto a device to be able to hear it back and compose on there. I mean, you got to think about the genius of, I mean, him like specifically, but just composers back then to write music
On paper.
with hundreds of other instruments in the room and to make it sound beautiful, let alone like mesmerizing and just it is really intriguing to think about, like just how the human mind can work. It's incredible.
I think, I mean, if we're being specific to Beethoven and his life and history, the Third Reich,
Oof.
that would have blown his mind.
Chris.
What?
Yeah, but come on, bro.
You're like, all right, so check it out. Germany is now a superpower. And he's like, oh, cool. What's that based on? So, you know of Jews.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're very good musicians. I like their instruments. What about them? You're not going to like this.
You're not gonna sit down, buddy.
Maybe it's good you're deaf.
Oh man! All right. Any other suggestions out there other than crazy Nazi stuff?
Hammocks. I think that would have blown his mind. the American dollar value. Like there are people with billions of dollars, and he's just like, I made 50 cents off of this song, and it was the most popular song ever.
Yeah. Guitars.
Probably some airheads.
Electric guitars. Airheads. I think electric guitars. This cat that's disturbing me.
Stop! Sorry, we haven't clipped our nails in a minute.
Fell. You're not supposed to clip cat's nails. But she fell, and on her way down decided, I'll just put out my claws. That'll help me stop. Into my flesh. I'm probably bleeding on my arm now. I'll check that in a minute.
All right, guys. I think that should be the end of our show. What a wild, quick one, I might add at this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what are we at, like 40 minutes for an episode?
I think we might hit under an hour. What a treat. Get a fun little boost in your week.
No, I think we should continue it. Make it longer.
No, because I want to go to bed.
Google some questions. Just Google some fan questions. Questions for other podcasts.
No.
What do they ask Joe Rogan?
Oh, God.
Let's answer some of those questions with intelligence.
Speaking of, guys, let us know what you want us to talk about. If you have any subject matter or things that you'd like to enjoy us bring up, whether it's things that we know about or things that we don't know about.
Especially if it's things we don't know about. That's where I thrive.
Just making sure.
I have 2 skills. One of them is whistling. The other one is coming up with BS on the fly.
Well, you're not wrong.
Whistling and lying.
Unless you were lying about that.
I'm really good at both. Well, we're not going to know today because it's dark, and I don't whistle at night.
All right, guys.
I am Native American, and it goes against everything I believe in.
Thank you all again for listening to our podcast. And be sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod. Christopher, where can we find you?
I am rarely on Instagram as @Captain_CT Ford. And on TikTok, I am Christopher.Lionheart.
Harley?
You can find me on Instagram at WhatHarley, WUT Harley, and on the Clock app while it still is alive, at harleybean.co.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and all the other things at Timothy Lichty. Thank you all for listening and for being part of the conversation. Remember, there is always more than this. Bye, everybody.
Write your senators and representatives.